Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is the Little Piece of Heart channel. I am Kathleen Hart. If you're looking for anything that is low carb diet related, you're gonna find it here on this channel. I'm glad you decided to click on this video today because today is gonna be like a big, huge pep talk. And I'm gonna give you 4 tips for how to get back on track with your low carb lifestyle or any kind of diet lifestyle, really, after the holidays. And I know the holidays are still not over yet. We still have another round coming up really soon, but I figured that since Thanksgiving just happened, you know, this is a good time to revisit some of these core tips and just remind everybody that we're all just human. And your diet is only one little portion of your life. It doesn't matter if you're trying to maintain right now or if you're in the process of losing weight. These tips can apply to everybody, and it's more of just like a little pep talk from me too. No one's perfect. If you decided to indulge on Thanksgiving, that's great. If you decided to stick to your low carb lifestyle on Thanksgiving, that is also great. Proud of you, good job. I know it can be hard with all the temptations around, but no matter what you decided to do, that's yesterday, that was last week, that was whenever. You can start over and reevaluate, cleanse your mind, just literally turn the page, start over. This is a new day. So you don't have to wait till Monday. You don't have to wait till the 1st of the month. You don't have to wait till January 1st. You can literally start over at any time of the day. If you're watching this at 5 p.m. and you had a crappy day as far as eating, start over. You can start over right now. So that is gonna be one of the first things that I want to give you as a tip. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Because what happens when you're hard on yourself is you're negative. Negativity breeds negativity. You know it, I know it. The minute you have a bad day and you declare it a bad day, little things happen to make it even worse. And they compound and the day gets worse. And you sit there and you say, today's just a bad day. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to think of it that way. One little thing can happen, but you need to shift your mind. You need to shift your mindset, and instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Think, what can I learn from this? If you're ever stuck in like a negative mindset, that's a great way to change everything around, because you know what? Everything ends up happening for a reason. And if I look back on my life at some of the things where I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible, it all worked out for the best. And I'm sitting here right now and I'm as happy as can be. And all of those little shortcomings led me to where I am today. So back to the diet though. If you're hard on yourself, it's not gonna make anything better. So like I said, start over, cleanse your mind, literally say, okay, I'm done, you know, being upset with myself for cheating on my diet, or I'm upset with myself for having that piece of pie. It's over, it's done. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. I really did, because whenever I decide to do a cheat or, you know, fall off track for a little bit, I make myself enjoy it and not feel guilty, and then I get back on track when I'm ready. And that is the best way to look at it. So just think, anything that happened yesterday, today, this morning, 10 minutes ago, as far as eating, it's in the past. Start over, regroup, we got this. And then let's go to tip number 2, which is always have a plan. So I was posting up until Thanksgiving all different kind of low carb recipes, different you know, things you could take with you as far as appetizers or serve at your Thanksgiving table or have on hand so that you don't fall off track. The best thing to do going forward is sit down and make yourself a meal plan. On my Little Piece of Heart blog, I actually have a tab on the left-hand side of the page, which is meal plan. I actually sat down and wrote out a couple weeks of meal plans just in case you were looking for some inspiration. But also my blog has tons of recipes on it. So if you're looking for like, oh, what can I make for dinner tomorrow night where I can stay on track? You can actually just browse through all the recipes. So definitely check my blog out for some inspiration. Pinterest is also a great place to find recipes. I just love Pinterest. So, or you have your good old friend Google. So all of those places are great. I would sit down and make yourself a meal plan. Really focus on what you want your menu to be. Now I know we have a couple weeks before Christmas and like Hanukkah and things like that. This is a time where you can make 2 different decisions. You can either decide that you're gonna be back hardcore. If you're trying to lose weight, you're gonna be low carb, you're gonna be strict up until those days, and then you can decide. Or you can just kind of take it easy because it is the end of the year. It all depends on what your goals are. So whatever your goals are, I would make a meal plan and do some meal prep for supporting those goals. And I think that if you just make a little time to plan ahead, you will be golden. I find that when I'm looking for something to eat, that's when I get frustrated because I can't find what I want, I don't know what I want, and then I end up maybe not eating the best choices of things. If you plan out your meals and you plan out your snacks, it's already waiting for you. And I feel like in my head, at least, when I know what I'm gonna be eating for lunch, when I know what I'm gonna be having for dinner, the snack I know is waiting for me in the fridge, I get excited. I want you guys to get excited too, because sometimes I get messages and people are saying, you know, I'm really discouraged, I'm really bored with my food, I'm really not feeling this anymore, but I know that it works. You have to put your own spark back into it. No one's gonna do that for you. So what you need to do is figure out, okay, what do I want to eat? What do I like to eat? And if it's not low carb, let's find an alternative to make it low carb. And if it is already low carb, then you're great. You just gotta go to the store and buy it and meal prep these things. So I just actually had a salad for lunch, and it was tomato, onion, and mozzarella cheese. And I did balsamic vinegar, some spices, I did some basil, some garlic powder, and I did balsamic vinegar and a little bit of olive oil. And it was so amazing. I was just craving like a fresh salad, like a caprese kind of salad. It literally hit the spot. And those are one of those meals where people that haven't had it like as a lunch, you don't think it's gonna fill you up. It filled me up. I'm full right now. I feel great. And I ate like some fresh ingredients, some fresh mozzarella cheese. I ate some fresh tomatoes, not in season obviously, but they were beefsteak tomatoes that looked amazing at Wegmans, and I couldn't pass them up. So I bought them, and I'm not sorry at all. I feel amazing. Just making the time to think about what you want and then going and purchasing those fresh ingredients and having them on hand for when you need them. It's just amazing. So I would highly recommend making a meal plan, doing some meal prep, and really just thinking about, okay, what are my goals? Like, what do I want to accomplish in these next couple weeks before the new year with the impending holidays coming up? Just where do I want to be? And for me, if you don't know, I'm almost 24 weeks pregnant. And my goals right now are a little different than they would be if I wasn't pregnant, but I'm still trying to be healthy and just eat food that fuels me rather than food that is just going to weigh me down and make me not feel good, feel sluggish, feel blah. So as much as I'm not on a total low carb diet, I am including a lot of low carb options into my meal plan because that's when I feel the best. That's when my health, I just feel so good. I have the energy to chase after my toddler. I have the energy with being pregnant to get stuff done around the house. So it all just depends on what your goals are and what you want to accomplish in the next couple weeks. But I would take what those are, and then I would make your meal plan, and I would meal prep, go to the grocery store, and get yourself on track with having the right things in your house so that when you are hungry, you have things to grab and you're not going to make the wrong choices because of lack of options. So like I just said, number 3 is definitely set some goals for yourself. Write them down. This sounds silly. I know it does, believe me. And I would be the first one to say it sounds silly, but it works. Do you have a date planner? Do you have your actual menu plan? Write on there what your goal is. Even if your goal is to drink more water this week, because I know when it's the holidays and especially on Thanksgiving, like I was running around like crazy and I didn't drink enough water. Like drinking water to me is now on my list of things that are like my goals. So whatever your goals are, if they're big or small, if you want to actually lose 10 pounds by the end of the month, which is totally possible with low carb in the next like 3 or 4 weeks, if you have that as a goal, like write it down. Write down what your goal weight is, circle it, make a star around it, highlight it, whatever you need to do. But when you write down your goals, they just become so much more powerful and they become, to me, I think they become more real. So I would totally recommend doing that and just looking at it every day and just reminding yourself when you're kind of feeling down or you're feeling blah or you're feeling like you might want to fall off track, like revisit those goals. This is why you're doing what you're doing. So like I said, big or small, it doesn't matter. You need to set your goals and then plan accordingly to those goals. And listen, your goal might just be, I'm gonna try to not fall off track for 3 weeks and just kind of skate by and stay the same and maintain and do good and not gain a pound. That's great too. Whatever your goals are, it doesn't even matter. Just make some. Even if it's something little, when you accomplish a goal, it literally triggers something in your brain to keep going, to push forward. And I feel like going into the new year, when a lot of people decide to do like New Year's resolutions and things like that, it just kind of like propels you forward so that when you do hit the new year, you're still going. You're not falling off track. You're not feeling like, it's not like a daunting thing where you're like, oh, January 1st, gotta start all over again. No, you've already got the momentum. You're already on your way. And then January 1st comes and it's just like a refreshing new start that you've already been preparing for. So definitely set some goals. And then my last and final tip is going to be just to really take a look and reevaluate what you've been doing and if it's working for you, and then what you might need to tweak and fix going forward. Because like I said, new year, propel yourself forward, start now. There's no reason why you have to wait till Monday, January 1st, your birthday, whatever. There's no magical date and time. You can start whenever. So what I would encourage you to do is really reevaluate what's going on. If you feel like you've fallen off track a lot this year, go back to January of this year. Just think about it a little bit. I write everything down in my my date book, so I can actually go back in time and just read like what my weight has been, how I was feeling, what I was eating, and just kind of look at it that way. Look at the big picture of the year and really just see like what worked, what didn't work. Why did I feel like I had to fall off track this day? Or why on this day was I super successful? Like I want to recreate that more. So I think looking back and reevaluating is so important. It's just as important as planning for the future, because if you look back at your history and you see what worked and what didn't work, it can help you in succeeding in the future. You might find that maybe eating a little bit higher carbs or eating more in-season vegetables like squashes and things like that might be something that benefits you right now, and that might include higher carbs. So this might be your season for maintaining. And then once January and February hit, once you've kind of gotten that out of your system and eaten all the in-season vegetables you can, then you're gonna be back on track with going super low carb. And that's fine too. You can ebb and flow too. That's what's the best about low carb. So if you are new to my channel, I don't follow a keto diet. Right now I'm pregnant, so I'm really not following much of anything, but I am just trying to eat intuitively and healthy as usual. But normally I am just on a low carb diet. And I find that a low carb diet is the best for my life because it's so flexible. It's super flexible. I can still eat certain foods that some people might say, oh, don't eat that if you're on keto. But I'm not trying to be in ketosis. I'm not trying to be in that fat burning mode 24/7. I'm more lax about it, and my body just loves and thrives off of eating low carb. At this stage of the year, if I just want to add a little bit more carbs into my diet, I can easily do that. So I don't know what kind of diet you're on specifically, but you can still take these tips and just kind of tweak them and formulate them so that they fit your lifestyle. That's why I love low carb, because if some days I feel like having popcorn, I know I can budget that into my daily carb count for the day. If I feel like splurging and literally having a candy bar, which I know is crazy. Most people would say don't do that if you're on a low carb diet. But if you look at like a snack pack, like a little like a snack size like Reese's or something, you can determine how many carbs are in that one. Like Halloween candy was a big time. I was like, last year I was like debating, I'm like, do I really want to have this Reese's? Because I think it ended up being like, don't quote me on this, but like 10 or 11 carbs for like a Reese's. And I was like, do I really want to budget that into my day and just have one? Can anybody really just have one? So you actually can fit these things in if you think about it, and if you're really craving them one day. So that's why I love this lifestyle, and that's why I will always go back to it. And I had a lot of success this year. I got down to a really low goal weight and then found out I was pregnant. So I will be going back on a low carb diet next year, once I have my baby, of course, and I'm ready, but that will be another journey to follow. So I'm just like super excited, and I want to pump some of this into you, because I feel like a lot of people see diet and lifestyle as being like a negative thing, and a lot of the focus sometimes is on the things you can't have, but think about the things that you can have. And if there is something that you can't have, there's definitely a recipe out there for a dupe that is lower carb that you can enjoy. And I just want to spark some joy into your low carb lifestyle. Encourage you to set some goals just to reevaluate what you're doing and what your goals are for till the end of the year. So this isn't a time to just throw it out the window and say, oh, I ate, you know, mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving, so now like it's all over for me. Because then what ends up happening is you binge and you gain weight, and then you're even more unhappy. So just take a second, write down some goals, make those goals into your plan for the next couple weeks, and you don't have to plan for months at a time. Plan for 5 days, plan for 2 days, plan your meals for just tomorrow. Plan your meal for dinner. It doesn't even matter. There's no rules. Whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever is going to help you stay on track, get on track, and just be in a happy and good mindset, because this is awesome time of the year. It really is, but it can also be stressful. So I don't want food and your diet and your weight to be the stressful part. You just have to take some time, just a few minutes, literally, and just get your mind on a happy, positive frequency and wavelength. And I really think that will make such a big difference for so many of you. So if you have any tips and tricks that I didn't mention today on how you like to stay on track, or what your plans are from now until the new year, I would love to know them. If you want to leave them down in the comments below, I think that would be awesome just to hear what everyone's going through. This is like our low carb community. There's so many of you that I always hear from in the comments, and I just love seeing your usernames pop up. I love reading what you have to say. So I encourage everyone just to make this a community down in the comments. So with all of that said, I hope you all have a wonderful, awesome day. I hope you all are going to plan your meals, go grocery shopping for some healthy foods, or take it easy on yourself for the next couple weeks. Whatever you decide to do it with a smile. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I will see you very soon with a new video. But until then, have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.